Right guys, welcome back to Chop's Garage. We're starting things the wrong way round. As you can see from the light, it's 7 o'clock now. It's the end of the day. One thing you'll see is missing straight away is the car that was in yesterday's video, the Citroen C4 Cactus. Our subscriber came good. He watched the video yesterday and said, yep, rang up the first thing this morning, said, yep, I want that car, James, want to put the deposit down on it. So I immediately had the Moores guys come and pick it up, take it down for MOT, and then it'll have to go over to Malcolm, who doesn't know yet. I don't know if he watches the video still, to get the roof painted, and then we can get it out to the subscriber. So again, with the video, I was able to show everyone that it came in, that it was a driving instructor's car, that it had 134,000 miles on it. I showed, it had the roof needing the paint on it. 100% honest, and the car's still sold, which means the customer knows exactly what they're getting. I don't have to worry about, trying to remember what I may or may not have said. I think we know there's dealers out there that potentially would have taken those extra pedals off, done the paint on the roof, and said nothing about that ever being a driving instructor's car. But that's one of the things about the channel. It's all out there for you to see. You see the cars come in. I'm honest if they've had problems, but we get them sorted, and everybody knows exactly what they're buying. So brilliant. The reward for that is I get phone calls like I did today from a subscriber. Well, phone calls like that, buying the cars, but I had a phone call from a subscriber's sister today, who has offered me her Chevy Spark. Only lives down the road at Instow. She has a 2011 Chevy Spark with only 14,000 miles on it. That's the lowest mileage Chevy Spark we've ever had, isn't it? In that metallic green. Now, you all know I love a Chevy Spark. I think a Chevy Spark would survive a nuclear holocaust, no problems at all. We've only ever had a problem with one, and that was simply the clutch, wasn't it? Which, you accept that for all cars. They are tough little blighters. They're incredibly good value for money. I know over at High Peak Autos, he also... I know over High Peak Autos, he also says that he has one as a courtesy car, doesn't he? In his video about the most reliable cars, he was chatting about them. We both agree those things are bulletproof, and they've always been good little sellers for me because they're, again, you get a lot more car for your money with those. But obviously, it doesn't matter how nice the person sounds on the phone, you've got to do your checks, and with one that low mileage, you need to make sure it's all genuine. So, of course, we're going to use our old friend Car Vertical to check it out. Now, for those you don't already know, and you must do by now, Car Vertical has the largest online database of used car information, and you need to use it whenever you're looking to buy a new vehicle. I've shown many times on this channel me finding information about cars that was never disclosed at point of sale. That's why it's so essential. So here's our Car Vertical report for the little Chevy. Straight away we can see that actually it's saying a tick for mileage, all in the green. No, nothing for theft, no accidents, no finance. If we scroll down, we've got the spotted activity report that shows things like change in number plates, MOT results, changes of ownerships, that kind of thing. We've got the stolen vehicle check, which checks Europe as well as the UK. Then we've got the mileage report. This is the thing we're interested in. We want to see no strange dips in the mileage or any peaks or troughs. So looking here, it's a very gradual line. It seems to be a genuine mileage. We've got one slight little discrepancy here, but only by a few miles. So it looks like that mileage is genuine. So it looks like our little Chevy Spark is 100% genuine. But that's not always the case, as we know. Now check out this example for an Astra. Now while we look at this, remember that a private seller by law does not have to tell you if a vehicle has been a write-off, and then tell me it isn't worth doing one of these checks first. So we can see Car Vertical immediately flags up with an amber warning for this Astra for accidents. So if we scroll down to the section of the report for damage, we can see that it tells us that this car was written off in 2019 as a category S and shows us all the areas of damage. But if we scroll down even further, it'll actually give us pictures of the damage that was incurred. Now look at the state of this. Now remember, Cat S is structural damage, but it's deemed suitable to be repaired. So this car could be repaired and up for sale with a private seller without you ever knowing it suffered this level of damage. You can see why Car Vertical is an essential check for any new vehicle purchase. In fact, might be worth running through the car you've got at the moment. Did you do a check on its history before you purchased it? Well, the good news is you can do that because Car Vertical are giving a discount code for Chops Garage viewers. You'll find it in the description down below. Well, as we know with our subscribers, they're all pretty reliable people, and it looks like the little Chevy Spark is exactly as described, so that'll be a worthwhile purchase. So that's another one to look out for coming in. Now onto the subject of the title of this video. It looks like I'm going to have to be taking legal action and potentially going to court over a Dacia problem. Not this Dacia, my brother's Dacia. So I think I mentioned in a previous video, my brother's got a Dacia Sandero with the turbo on it. I like to do the non-turbos because you don't tend to have problems. If it's not there, you can't have a problem with it. He's got the TCE with the turbo on it, and he was having problems with the car. It was diagnosed as a timing chain problem with his garage, but they couldn't get it in for weeks. So I said, bring it down here. Moore's guys are great. I lent him my Suzuki Swift Sport, which is why that's not been kicking around. Took it down, and the Moore's guys went, that's not a timing chain. That's not a timing chain at all. They said, that's the turbo. Great stuff, no problem. So I was looking out for a turbo, obviously want to keep the cost down. So I hopped on eBay and I found this company that do refurbished turbos. So I ordered up the refurbished turbo from eBay. It was a good price, came with a warranty, fantastic. Unit came, the guys at Moore's fitted it, took it for a test drive. It immediately blew a seal, blew oil through the exhaust system, so goodness knows if it's damaged the cat, soaked the sensors, and put smoke out the back. The guys had to turn it around straight away, take it back again, ring me, say, James, this turbo's bad. So they whipped the turbo off. I got hold of the company. I said, look, your turbo's failed straight away. They said, send it back and we will send you out another now. Bear in mind, I sent the old turbo in as an exchange as well. So I didn't have the old turbo. They had the old turbo. They sent me out a replacement turbo. Fantastic. But at this point, we're down the cost of another oil change and the additional labour of fitting another turbo, which I wasn't happy about as it was. So, new turbo comes in. The boys fit that turbo. And they said, James, you're not going to believe this. The thing makes a horrible noise. It doesn't sound like it should. It sounds quite loud, like a diesel Land Rover or something. Right, okay, pop it up, bring it up here. By the time they got from just down the road to here, the noise had got really loud. I did have it on my phone. I'm going to try and insert it into the video now from my phone. Now that noise to me sounds, and I asked the guys down there, now I'm not an expert, but it sounds to me like pressure passing by a rubber diaphragm or something. All the pipes were checked, that's all good. It was coming directly from the turbo. And it sounds to me like air rushing through. Now I reckon it is within the sort of wastegate area. I don't know whether there's rubber diaphragms or something in there, but I was whittling on and saying this to the guys down the road, and they said it kind of made sense what I was saying, and they kind of agreed as well. So, second turbo gone. Now, obviously, there's like a 4-day, 5-day process of turbo going out in the postage and coming back again. So my brother's been without the car for weeks. He's now got increased labour costs because the turbo's going to have to be fitted a second time. So this has added another 3 or 4 hours of labour on top. Obviously, like I say, we've got the additional oil change to have to do. We don't know if it's done the catalytic converter when it's done that as well. So I've chased up the guys. Now, the first time I spoke to them about this and said, you know, there's additional costs, they said, oh, no, we don't cover any of that. We only do the replacement of the turbo, which I don't agree with because their product failed and their product caused the problem, as in we're going to have to do another oil change, as in the extra labour. Now, this time I've messaged them about it, and it's been couple of days now. First time I got a message back with an hour, so I've had 0 response. I've since gone online and done a bit of checking I should have done before, and there's other reports of them being dodgy. So what do you do in these circumstances? Well, that's it. I'm going to have to put in a letter before action, and I'm going to claim for the additional hours of labour. Now, the problem is I want to get a turbo from elsewhere now, but everybody wants to do exchange on turbos. So I don't have a turbo to provide to do an exchange, which means I'll be hit with a massive surcharge as well for not having a turbo to hand in, because they obviously rebuild the ones that are handed in. Now, for the moment, my only choice has been I found a genuine turbo from a 15,000 mile car on eBay. I've ordered that up. That's got a 3-month warranty on it, just to get him up and running again. But at the moment, we are obviously down a lot costs-wise. So if they're not going to respond to me, my only option is small claims court. So remember the process. Again, I've spoken to people on the channel about this before. I'm not a legal expert, so don't take it as, you know, as gospel legal advice. But the process is, if you have a problem and people aren't talking and they aren't engaging with you, letter before action outlining what you're going to claim, send it off. Once you've allowed, I forget exactly what the period is, I think I normally allow 14 days. I say it like I do all the time. It's probably been 3 or 4 times. Once a letter before action has gone in and you've had no response, then small claims goes in. It's really my only option at this point. Really, really frustrating that in this day and age, we still have people that just don't offer the level of customer care. And this isn't about what's written down in law anyway. This is about what's fair and what's reasonable. You know, you don't need to be told that if you're providing a product that's faulty and causing other problems, that you should look after the customer. You shouldn't need to be told that. But unfortunately, it looks like this company is going to need to be told it. And hopefully, as soon as they realise I'm serious, they pay out, because now they're going to have to send me back my old turbo. They're going to have to cover the costs that have been involved. That's what I'll claim for. I'll claim for, if they don't send me back my old turbo, I'll need to put a claim in for that, for what I'm getting charged in a surcharge if I am to get another replacement one, for the additional labour for the oil. But then the thing is, they'll have other costs on top if they don't then respond and it does go to court. So I'll keep you updated on that. And I've done it again, guys. I bought another Freelander. Look at this. 2004 Freelander. Now you're going to see why I bought this in a minute. I actually have already done a deal on this, potentially. And I did it this morning before the car came in. As in, sold it on. So what have we got? A 2004 HSE Freelander. It's actually pretty tidy. I've bought this without having a look at it first. David is going to kick my butt. I can already predict in the comments below the kicking David's giving me right now. I can't do his accent, but it'll be something like, James, you shouldn't be buying these. It's nowhere near it, is it? James, you shouldn't be doing these cheeky bids on cars. Well, no, I shouldn't really, but there's a reason behind it. I mean, I bought a lot off Mark before, who I've got this from. Mark is the, say hi to Mark if he's actually watching. He said he might actually watch the channel. Mark does scrap collection cars, normally cats, but he picks up everything and anything, and when he's there he often gets different stuff. He was there picking something up and was offered this, and he said it's a good runner driver. He thought it might be of interest to me. Now, we've done business before. Mark's pretty straight, but he lets me have cars fairly cheap, like pretty darn cheap actually. There's always an element of risk. That's just the way this game is. So you're going to be looking at it at the same time as me. So quick look around, bodywork wise. Tyre, that's a brand new tyre there. Bodywork down this side's good. Needs a good old jet wash off, but actually it looks like it could polish up well. Loads of tread on this tyre, that's nearly new as well. Alloys are in nice nick, no curbing. Headlights could do with a polish. Another new tyre there, pretty much. Down this side's good. Now, I know, David, on your old one, the sills are rotted out, but you had covers, didn't you? This hasn't got covers, and it looks like the sills are pretty darn good along here. Bodywork along here is good. In fact, this is really good. This would buff up really nicely. It'd almost be worth painting that bit there, because the rest of it is in such good nick. If I was going to retail it, I don't think I am. I think I'm selling this straight on. So, what's the reason I got this? Well, it's my favourite reason for buying cars at the moment, isn't it, guys? It's an automatic. So we've got an automatic Freelander. Now you're probably all going to jump in the comments now and tell me that the automatic Freelanders are an absolute nightmare. I know nothing about them. I know nothing about Freelanders in general, to be honest. We've got leather interior. Again, a bit of black balm on that leather seat there, and the leather's going to be in really good nick. Oh, does the back door not open, or do I need to double click? Have we found our first problem? No, I just need to double click, I think. There we go. Back leather's in really good nick. All just needs a good clean up here. That needs sticking back down again. Fabric's coming away a bit. Oh, I don't fit. Whoever was in it is small. Right. What have we got in here? It's all fairly basic. We've got heated seats and we've got air conditioning. Fair play. Looks like we've got parking sensors as well. There's a parking thing there. The HSE are the higher spec ones, aren't they? I'm just buying a load of old Land Rovers at the moment. I've got that flipping Discovery coming in as well, haven't I? Electric windows. Right. 126,000 miles, not outrageous for 2004. Here's the moment, turn the key. Starts up all right. Oh, got a little bit of hunting there. That seems to have levelled out a bit. Right. The most important thing, the box. How's the box going to be? We've got a sunroof here. Now, with this car, guys, let's bear in mind it's a 2,420 odd thousand mile. It's going to be a cheap truck for someone locally to drive around the lanes and the fields, load up with bales, but it's going to be somebody who needs an auto, who can't drive manual anymore. Right, let's see how it changes. Oh, that was smooth. Changed to second all right there. And off we go. Can we get up to any more gears? Squeaky suspension, getting on a bit, isn't it? Right, let's go again from a bit longer distance and see how many gears we get. Yeah, I think we got to third there. I'm going to take it for a longer run and double check, but initial signs are that the gearbox is actually changing nice and smoothly. 3 former keepers. Right, service portfolio. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Have we got anything in here at all? Yeah, we've got some stamps. 2005, 2006, 2007, 2009, 10, 11, 15, and then nothing else. We have got some receipts in here for fuel filters and stuff like that more recently. A new sunroof fitted at some point as well. I think that was what he said to me. So we haven't got any leaks up there. Seems to shift gears okay. It's pretty tidy really for the age. Got good tyres on all round. It does need an MOT, and I'm sure the MOT warriors will probably be on the case to see what the history of it's like. Now, like I say, I have already potentially sold this. What I did is I got a message this morning while I was at the gym, about 7 this morning, and I immediately hopped onto someone I know likes this kind of thing and said, would you be interested? Just put a couple hundred on top and figured if I could sell it that way, you know, do a quick deal between sets on the bench, then that's all right, isn't it? So we'll do a little video, put a call in and see if they're having this or not. You'll probably have to find out in the next video because, like I say, it's the end of the day now. So we've got a busy day tomorrow. We've got vehicles to pick up. We need to get the RAV4 all cleaned and tidied up. But before I do the RAV4 clean and tidy up, we've got to get the Polo, the little grey Polo, cleaned and tidied up, photograph, video, because we've got a subscriber that would like that, and potentially the little black i20, because bless him, he's got twins and they're both needing cars at the same time. He's been holding out for me to have 2 suitable vehicles, and interestingly enough, he wanted the Polo, but I didn't have a second car, and he said, if you got something like an i20, that'd be perfect. The very next day I was offered the i20. So we've got to prep that, send him a video of that, and see if he's happy to go ahead on that one. And then we've got to get the i20 in, get that prepped as well. So get Polo done, get RAV4 done, and then by then we should start to get some other stuff back. The SsangYong, I know it's been not present all the way through for the last few videos. I showed it as a one-off. It's still down at Moore's getting checked. Well, not getting checked. It's still down at Moore's awaiting parts, because we decided to go hell for leather on trying to sort that out. I haven't really discussed what the problem with it is. I haven't gone into any detail on it yet. I'm kind of holding off, and I'll be able to give you the whole story in one go. Hoping to get the little Fabia automatic back, because I am sure that will sell in a heartbeat as soon as it's back from Malcolm doing the paint. So we'll get that in as well. Normally, I know recently I've been selling cars and then sending them down for MOT. I do like to get the MOTs done beforehand normally, so that as soon as they're sold and go out the door, it's just been a case of catch up. If I've been waiting for them to go down and get the MOTs done first, I wouldn't have anything advertised for sale. So that's the reason I'm trying to get back up to a point where they're not only photographed and prepped, they've also got the MOT on them so they can go straight out the door, because as much as anything, I don't like to have to make it a 2-stage process.